And we are opening up into a new major shift of energy that is going to be a collective energy, but it will need to be allowed through a support system where we support each other as a family. The biggest area of lack that I see in the world is the fact that people feel unsupported and that they have to fight their way through life. And by doing this, they create these interior conflicts that are so huge that force them to every day wake up and say, how am I going to survive today? And you know, from the White Wing Nine, the Teachers of Light, the groups, the collectives, the angels, all this energy, there is such compassion and sadness, you know, in not sadness in any way, shape, or form that we know it, but just the feeling that if they only knew that they were supported, they would be so much more creative, you know?
Absolutely, I totally agree, and I see that with people. I see that with my friends and members of my family, and you know, you can't really give that support. I mean, you can't move to a place where you show that person that they have that support by giving it to them from you. As I've said before, you have to show them the doorway and live by example, really. Say, look at me, look at how things are for me and for the people that I mix with, and look at the gold ring, and look at these people, and we're all evolving, and try and help that person to find that within themselves. And you know, each person's on their own individual journey, and I do see more and more people waking up and moving very, very quickly, and people who are waking up now for the first time. It's a big thing for them because they're waking up and the energies are there and they're so strong. And I suppose, you know, we kind of woke up a few years ago, so we've had some time to assimilate that. And yet really we end up in the same place. I was speaking to somebody who I feel is very, very linked in now and connected and open and flowing and is a conduit. And yet they've been on the spiritual path for 3 months. Consciously, and they've come to the place where we are. But speaking of support from the gold ring, absolutely, it's wonderful, the love and the energies that the gold ring shows, and you know, people are coming into that totally ready to be part of that, or people are coming in and are not quite sure what the gold ring is about, but they're picking up on those energies, and it's marvelous. And I just truly feel that I wouldn't be, I honestly don't know if I would be where I am now with my videos and with my, not necessarily with the messages, because I've always had that link with the channeling, but my videos wouldn't be as they were if it wasn't for you and the gold ring. And I see things happening in my life in the future, and I don't think I would get to those places without the support of the gold ring and of you specifically, Rysa. And I see other members of the gold ring moving forward into some really, really good, positive, wonderful places. And they too have taken support from the gold ring to get there. And earlier you were saying about relaxing and having fun, and that's what it's all about. It's about taking this journey and lightening up about it and not seeing it so seriously. We know we've got work to do. We know it's a big thing. We know it's serious and it's important and it's massive. It's bigger than we can possibly imagine. Yet on another level, it isn't, and we have to sit back and relax and be a conduit and flow, raise our heart and have fun as we go through this process.
I want to talk to you on what's going to be part of the future, and the future in a fairly practical level. We just started this circle of abundance energy, and getting people to ask for what they want and need and find their purpose is quite difficult because people have incredible blocks and have experienced delays and frustrations and setbacks and failures and all this other stuff that just clogs them up so that they won't even try sometimes. And so the what we call the gold ring is the game of enlightenment and abundance. And we can see in the world that there are people with abundance, and there are people with enlightenment. There's not really a crossover. The energy of the earth and the resources of the earth are being fairly well mismanaged and abused. So what we're looking at is seeing all of this about to change, and in this change we are wanting to be the ones that lead this change. And does the White Wing Nine, find this in what I'm speaking to accurate?
They do, yes. What they would say to me is, obviously, the designed plan would have been about finding this as it creates such growth for the soul. So obviously the fact that people have abundance and not enlightenment, and there are others with enlightenment and not abundance, that's been there for a reason and for our learning individually and collectively, and we've each had a chance at incarnating with abundance and without enlightenment, and we've each had a chance at incarnating with enlightenment and not having abundance. And there is a crossover coming now. That is what we're moving into. But you are so right that this has to be asked for, because for the higher energies to just come in and allow that to happen, that would be breaking our free will. We must let the higher beings know that our free will is in alignment with what we want. And so this is why we have the ceremony of asking. And I think you're one of the first, perhaps with this kind of media. I know that there's been ceremony of askings going on since ancient times, but now you're one of the first to do this in this way. And I think the way showers who are leading the ceremony of askings, whether they're you, whether they're me, or whether they're somebody else, well, really, we need to look at the person that is stepping in to take their ceremony of asking and help them to work on their blocks first and come to a place of asking with a pure heart, because the Nine will absolutely assure you, and I'm sure your teachers of light will say the same thing, if you move into this ceremony of asking with a pure heart and you have the energy of others around you sending you energy for that ceremony of asking, what you ask for will manifest. That timeline will be opened for you, and you will have a chance to manifest that timeline that you asked for. If you ask with a pure heart and you have let go of ego, because what's happening now is those who are bringing financial abundance into their lives, the new people walking into that will be egoless. They will have let go of ego to find that abundance. And those who have financial wealth and they have huge egos, and they take that financial wealth from a place of control, they will find that slipping from them. But again, this is about free will, and we all need to ask for this individually and collectively. I see it coming together, Rysa. I really do. I see that timeline in front of us, and I really believe and know that we can manifest this timeline, and that's where we're going with this right now.
And this is one of the most important things in our world, is how to manage our resources and how to actually be in partnership with the earth on an ecological level to really create this heaven on earth. And so the area that we have to deal with is power, and power comes through energy. And in our world, energy is manifested through finance, and because in the ability to make choices, we are inclined to need the backing, again, the word support, in order to do this. And so as a collective, I'm looking for the establishment of constituency, because I feel that we cannot fix the problem with the problem. And if the problem is the current economic system, how can we fix it with what is the problem? There's a kind of sense of brokenness to it that is showing up through corruption.
Well, Rysa, I do see all the visions that you have having openings for manifestation. And obviously, you know, that will depend on the others that move into that and the other members of the Gold Ring. But I see the chance for manifestation for your visions really strongly.